Sunday. Wild will be an understatement for the Bills and the Oilers. There must have been a full moon out. How else could you explain an insurmountable lead, followed by an impossible rally, engineered by the architect of comebacks? It left everyone in shock. The hard-nosed Saints ran into the hard-nosed Eagles, each trying to hit them with their best shot. And then there were 8 next on NFL Primetime. What a day in the NFL. Rich stadium between the Bills and Oilers. Never a game like this one. Wasn't far off in the Superdome either. The Eagles against the Saints on Wild Card Sunday. And we do mean wild. Hello once again, everybody. I'm Chris Berman, and welcome to ESPN's NFL Primetime. Some primetime ball games today. There's no question about that. We usher in our panel of judges here. Tom Jackson and Joe Theismann have both give it a 9.5, I think, by the way the ball games were today. I mean, we may watch football for 50 years and never see ball games like this. All right, let's get right to it. The Oilers at the Bills. That's how the day started. In a word, wow. Who knew when they were going into Rich Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, that they would see history by the time they left the stadium? Here we go. It was an association day because everyone knew it was windy. Warren Moon, back from injury, his first start in over a month. He was sharp in the opening drive of the game. Duncan, Slaughter. Then he goes deep to Haywood Jeffries. 31 yards. The Oilers in business. Webster Slaughter for 5. 4th and 2 from the 27. Low White is popped by Kurt Schultz, but he gets nothing. He sees nothing. White picks up the first down.
Yeah, Lorenzo White shows great balance here as he's hit by Schultz. And not only that, he spots the marker right there, is able to turn the corner and go get a crucial first down.
So Warren Moon back to work. Haywood Jeffries for 5. Warren Moon red hot in the chill of Buffalo. Goes, pumps, avoids the rush, fires to Jeffries. 7-0 the Oilers. We move to the second quarter with the Oilers with the wind at their back. Moon. 24 yards to Ernest Givens from
Louisville.
24 yards. Moon drops back and looks for Webster Slaughter. Touchdown. 14-3 Houston. 2 drives, 2 touches, Joe.
Slaughter on this play, he gets Clifford Hicks going one way, little shake to the left. Where'd I go? No, I'm not there. Here's the ball. I got it, you don't.
Good throw, good catch. The Oilers in command. Just over 4 minutes to go in the half. Moon back. Throws to Curtis Duncan. Slot by Kelso, but it's a touchdown. 21-3, the Oilers, and it's over. It's all over. Jack Hardy and the Oilers are going to roll. They're up 21-3. 39 seconds left in the half. Moon wants more. Goes to Haywood Jeffries, 14 yards.
Bruce Smith here. Not much of a factor in the first half here. He's dominated a little bit by Don Max, but things would change as the day would go on.
But Moon had the time, Tommy. 20 seconds to go in the half. The Jeffries, it's a touchdown. Now it's really over. 28-3, Houston at the half.
How over is it? Ask Nate Odom. Wow, look at that. Look out, here we go. He shook there, he'll shake here. Nate says, where are you? Webster. Oh, no, there you are. You're in the end zone again.
Tell you who is shaking, Joe, at the half. Look at these numbers for Warren Moon. 19 of 22 for 218 yards, 4 TDs at the half. In the second half, Jack Hardy says, let's really crush it to the AFC defending champs. And his defense does the job. Frank Wright playing instead of the injured Jim Kelly. Off the hands of McKellar, into Bubba McDowell's hands, and he could go all the way. 58 yards, touchdown, 35-3. It's over. It's over. For Houston, Thurman Thomas out. But the Buffalo fans refuse to see a fat lady sing. But wants to see her sing anyway. Right. Goes to work. To Pete Metzelaars. The tip, the slide. Down to the 25-yard line. Then on 3rd and 15, 16 yards to Andre Reed for the first down. Several plays later, Thomas out. You saw Kenneth Davis. Rumbles down to the 2-yard line. Then number 51, Jim Richer, pulls out from the guard spot with a block. Davis to the corner, 35-10, but they really have no shot. Marv Levy says, well, let's have fun. It's the onside kick. Christie kicks it. Rick Graff, it's off his hands, and Christie, the kicker, falls on it. Buffalo in business, but Jack Hardy not worried. What the heck, you got a big lead. Right. to down, down the sideline, touchdown, 35-17.
Chris, the rule states that once you step out of bounds, you become ineligible as a receiver. Don Beebe here steps out, should have been ineligible. You can see the official looking the other way, doesn't spot it. Result is a touchdown if you don't see it.
35-17. 3 plays and out for the Oilers. A bad punt by Montgomery. Right. To Reed down the left sidelines. It's 35-24. The Bills are down by 11. They feel they have a shot. On the ensuing Oilers possession. Second play. Here's one that Warren wanted back. The wobbler. Tipped off Slaughter, picked off by good old Henry Jones, number 20, the Pro Bowl center, safety, makes the pick.
On this play, Webster would have been better off having it miss his hands, but he tries to make the play, and Henry takes it on it. Jack's still wondering.
Warren wondering, no, this can't be. 4th and 5, down 11. Barb Levy says, go for the end zone. Wright delivers over the middle to Reed. It's 35-31. You've got to be kidding me. Rich Stadium in a frenzy. 4th quarter, Oilers at midfield. Picked off by number 54, Carlton Bailey. The INT stepping in front of Leonard Harris. Is this really happening?
Well, the interception didn't go because Bruce Smith got called for a personal foul, but I thought it was borderline. He only took one step to Moon after he released the ball.
So the Oilers get a break. They bring on Al Del Greco. Greg Montgomery, the punter. He can't handle the snap. Darryl Talley picks up the football. And look at him picking the ball up, number 56. He's rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, weaving, bobbing his way down toward the goalpost. Well, they would call it back, but the bad hold.
Well, nothing wrong with the snap. A case of Montgomery missing the ball, and as our Joey T has told me, that's why they make quarterbacks do it.
Right. So Montgomery couldn't hold, couldn't punt on the day. Bills, 5 minutes left. 3rd and 4. It's a draw play. Kenneth Davis cuts back inside, and he rakes it for 35 yards before Steve Jackson trips him up. Right. In a zone with Andre Reed. Looks for number 83. Fires. Reed behind Jackson. Touchdown! Buffalo leads 38-35. You cannot be serious. The Oilers have 3 minutes now, and they've got to try and mount a comeback after they've been up by 32 points. Moon. Ever the gamer. To Webster Slaughter. Stops the clock. Moon. Duncan. Stops the clock. 4th and 4, minute 43 to go. Over the middle, complete to Webster Slaughter. 18 yards to the first down. 15 seconds to go. Al Del Greco on to try the 26-yard field goal. Montgomery gets it this time. It's right up the middle. Tied at 38, and we'll go to overtime, but the Oilers still stunned. They do win the coin toss. First possession. Moon. Picked off by Nate Odoms, and the Bills are in business, Tommy.
Yeah, and you watch on the replay here, after we finish watching Nate run the ball, a little bit of holding on Ernest Givens right there by Talley. Just enough to throw him off stride and allow the ball to go through for the INT.
And then Steve Christie nails it. The 32-yard field goal. The greatest comeback in the history of the National Football League. In the regular season or the playoffs. A stunned Warren Moon can only wonder, why me? The Bills never have a group of men work so hard for a 3-hour bus ride to Pittsburgh. Buffalo beat Houston 41-38 in overtime in a game that will be remembered throughout the ages. At halftime, Gail Gilbert, the backup in this game, quarterback to Frank Reich, said, Frank, you've done this before in college. Do it again in the pros. Frank said, fine with me.
We don't have any quitters on this team. And the guys on the team were just so encouraging, kept me up when it could have been real easy to get down, especially after the interception to start the second half. But, you know, it was a very emotional, still is a very emotional time for me.
Number one, we had to play for ourselves because we were getting embarrassed, and that's what we wanted to do. And obviously the crowd added a lot to it.
Greatest game you ever been in?
Absolutely.
If there was any breakdown in any part of our football team that second half, we wouldn't have won the football game. And it took almost perfect execution on all 45 players out there in the second half to win, and that's what happened.
You just have to continue to play one series at a time and hope that things turn out well. You just can't say, hey, we need 4 touchdowns or 5 touchdowns. You just take it one play at a time.
I thought our pass rush, when we needed it the most, maybe wasn't as fierce as I would have liked, but their protection schemes, I think, helped them that way.
If you're not executing properly on defense, maybe we'll get a play here, a play there, a touchdown here, a touchdown there. But when the team's scores like 4 or 5 touchdowns in 7 minutes. I mean, you can't even chalk it up to our ineptness. You more have to chalk it up to them executing. So they really played well.
So you really can't say no next year, you know. I don't know what's going on. It's as simple as that. We choked. We choked as a team. We choked as management. Everyone in this organization just choked.
Here are the stark numbers. In the first half, when the Oilers led the Bills 28-3, they'd outgained the Bills 284 to 79 in yards. In the second half and the brief overtime, the Bills outscored the Oilers 38-10, 4 touchdowns in less than 7 minutes, and they gained almost 300 yards and allowed the Oilers only 145. 41-38 in overtime. And we all watched it. I'm still not sure that it happened. How did it happen?
Well, I think certainly as you look at the beginning of the game and saw Jim Kelly out, Thurman Thomas out, you're looking at a situation where this team was looking to come back from a 32-point deficit without their 2 star offensive players. So other people had to step up. And Joe talked about that in a little bit. But I think if you're looking for a turning point, one key in this game, after the Bills scored their first touchdown, as a team, the Oilers had to know that you were going to get an onside kick. Watch their front 5 here as they start to retreat from the line. They're not even suspecting the fact that they might get an onside kick. Here, we'll take another look at it from another vantage point. Rick Graff here, you see him moving away from the line, then he comes back. By the time he comes back, it's a little too late. At that point now, you've got 17 points if you're the Bills after the touchdown that they score following that kickoff. Now the crowd gets in at that 12th man, and suddenly you start to believe we've got a chance to win this football game.
Tommy, I also felt like there was clock management problems. I don't think the Houston Oilers can only look at their football players. I think they have to look at the entire staff as well. At the end of the game, when they were driving down for what turned out to be the tying field goal, it appeared to me that they were content to try for the field goal. They never really attempted to put the ball in the end zone. They didn't use any of the timeouts. They wound up finishing the game with a timeout or 2. That's not very good. When you're trying to win a football game, you try and win it, not try and tie it. The other thing for the Buffalo Bills, where has Andre Reed been for the last 11 weeks? Right here in this game, Andre Reed finally gets into the ball game. In the one place, Frank Reich does an excellent job of holding Robertson with his eyes, hits Reed in the end zone for the touchdown. 3 touchdowns, 8 receptions, 136 yards, and there's the number. 3 touchdowns today, 3 touchdowns all season, but only one in the last 11 weeks. That's what's happened. Andre Reed's finally a part of their offense again.
And he will continue to be a part as they move on to play the Steelers. You got to wonder now, can the Houston Oilers ever recover from this? You heard Chris Dishman talk about it a little bit. I mean, this year alone was a bookend season for the Oilers. They blew their opening game. They were up 14-0 to the Steelers before losing. Blew leads at Denver, against Pittsburgh later, Miami, and of course today, the worst oil disaster since the Valdez. And this is a team that, you know, lost at, not even Exxon could bail them out of this. I mean, they lost at Denver in the playoffs last year. They lost against Pittsburgh in the playoffs in 1989. So you must wonder, how can they ever regroup from this? And oh, by the way, we did get a call from the Buffalo locker room afterwards, and the whole team suggested that we call Frank Lloyd Reich, the architect of comebacks. He truly is, because he's already engineered or built the largest comeback in college history, leading Maryland from a 31-0 deficit against Miami in 1984 to a 42-40 win. And today now, he has done the largest comeback in professional football history. And this is a guy who now in his NFL career has started 7 games. Pretty good work with not a lot amount of time. All right. Next week, Buffalo now moves on to play Pittsburgh, a team they defeated at Buffalo earlier this year by 8 points. Then Sunday, you already know, it's Arnsparger against Shula, San Diego at Miami. That's the AFC playoff picture. As we go inside the numbers, biggest comeback ever? Well, it happened in 1980. San Francisco down 35-7 at home against New Orleans. Joe Montana, a young Joe, to Freddie Solomon, gets him back in the game. And then in overtime, the personable Ray Wersching 36-yard field goal, and down 35-7, the Niners beat the Saints 38-35. That was the biggest comeback in the history of the NFL. 28 points until today. The Bills' 32-point comeback, the best ever. Did someone say comeback? Well, maybe not 32 points, but the Eagles had some comeback on their mind way down yonder in New Orleans. Stay with us.
I was already late for my meeting when my flight landed. Lucky for me, someone left a courtesy car. I had to get to Dollar Rent a Car fast. I knew they were right on the airport with low rates.
Welcome to Dollar.
Hello, I have a car rental reservation.
No problem. I'll just punch it up on the computer. Dollar Rent-A-Car is right on the airport, right on the money, with unlimited mileage and locations worldwide. Call your travel consultant or Dollar at 1-800-800-4000.
Where to find the Mountain Man.